I love fall. I love the decorations. I love seeing the pumpkins and all the colors. The fall colors are so beautiful to me. Spring is one of my favorites, and so is fall. And if I had to choose between the two, I'm going to say fall because of the weather. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right. I love to get pumpkins, although I never carved one, but I still like to get them. And then it inspires me to decorate my own space. Just feels good to be able to come home and just see it and, see your own space, decorated with fall. I don't do Halloween, but I do love the pumpkins. One of the things I like to do during the fall is dehydrate. I love dehydrating vegetables, and here I'm going to dehydrate some celery. John does not like celery pieces, but he will tolerate it if I put it in the actual, a jar and put it into, his food. It's the same thing with onions. He likes onions, but he doesn't like the taste. So here is my food dehydrator, and I'm going to cut up and slice up the celery. I have about 4 stalks, I believe. I have 4 stalks, and I'm going to cut up. And I'm going to put it in my dehydrator. Now, you can cut them any size because I cut them different sizes, and it did, dehydrate very well. And then from that point, I put them in a jar. But here you have to blanch them. You have to blanch it for like 2 minutes if you want to retain the color. And my dehydrator, I don't have one of those fruit trays, silicone fruit trays, so I just use parchment paper. I put the celery on top. I had I think a total of 4 trays of celery. And I went ahead and dehydrated it. And I believe it took me 10 hours or 12 hours for everything to just get bone dry, because if it's not dry, it's not going to blend properly because I'm blending it. Now, I could just put this, in a jar and just have the celery hunks. But like I said, the chunks, John doesn't like it. So I go ahead and I blend it up. Again, I had 4 trays. And this is a way that you can save on throwing away food, because how many of us buy the celery and then we end up throwing it away after the holidays because we only use like 2 stalks of it for dressing or whatever. And so now this is what it looks like when it's dehydrated. And I just put it in my bullet and I blended it up very well. And I got this little bit amount, but I'm going to have more. Don't get discouraged when you see that, because when you're dehydrating, it takes, most of the water out, 95% of the water out, and it's going to look like that, but it's powerful. All I need is like a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon, and it will pack a punch. I am going to do another set of stock of broccoli. I have another one. This is just, like I said, maybe 4 or 5 stalks, but don't get discouraged. I'm going to try to fill this jar all the way up. And I'm also going to dehydrate some frozen vegetables that I will show you all with. So, try it. It's a way that you can save, food without throwing it away, because food is so expensive. You don't want to be wasteful. Do what's best for you. If I had just kept it, I would have had that, like in the slice form, I would have had a whole jar. But since, I'm powdering it, it's always going to look smaller. Reduced amount when you powder something. That's the same thing for onions. I think it would take like 10 pounds of onion to fill up a jar, mason quart jar, someone was telling me. So, like I said, don't get discouraged. Try it. Thank you for watching.